Cats have more than their fair share of tricks in the bag when it comes to how they greet humans. The simple, "Hey, what's up?" in the feline world, well, it can come in many forms. As a cat owner, especially a novice owner, it's important to recognize your cat's communication methods. The very last thing you want to do is dismiss a hello gesture that you didn't even know about. Building the bond of trust and loyalty, that's what it's all about. And the sooner that you are able to recognize your cat's cues, those signs of communication, the easier it will be for your cat to feel at ease around you and build that foundation of trust. In today's material, I'll take you through several physical actions that cats will display in an effort to say hello and showcase their feelings for you. Some involve direct physical contact with you, while others can involve sounds and physical postures that are meant for your attention and recognition. The obvious, the not so obvious, and everything in between. Adorable ways that cats greet humans. Interesting topic, hopefully a fun and educational topic, and I've got you covered. Stay tuned. We'll kick things off with what I personally consider the elephant in the room when it comes to feline communication and kind greetings, and that's purring. Whether you own a cat or not, it's fair to assume that you likely had this one on your very own list. And yes, indeed, the old stereotype of purring. A happy cat, a content cat, will purr, and if your cat loves to purr when they see you, hear your voice, or is simply near you, this is not only a sign that your cat is glad and relaxed, but it's also their way of letting you know that all is well. Purring as a form of communication. Most cats will purr when they're comfortable, during a resting session, a cuddle session. If your cat is ever going to purr at least audibly, it will typically occur at this time. And while it is true that purring can serve as a self-soother, especially when a cat is feeling unwell and distressed, most of the time, the majority of the time, the grand purr is a sign of happy times. And with respect to this topic, a form of communication, to tell you and let you know that your company, well, it's greatly appreciated. Now let's talk about some direct contact, as in your cat's head against your shin, against your arms, perhaps even against your face. Headbutting, of course, in the most lovable way possible. You have been marked. You have been claimed. Your cat has decided that you're now part of their family. The perfect mix of scent marking and friendship, headbutting, is a feline calling card if your cat is eager and anxious to display a physical sign of affection in the form of direct contact. A few headbutts and some rubs, that'll be the message. If your cat views you as a bit of a safe haven, you'll be on the receiving end of the headbutting likely more times than you can count during your grand ownership journey. And just like a hand in a glove, headbutting is a positive greeting, and so is rubbing against your legs. Sort of think of it as A and A1, virtually identical in terms of physical action and certainly in the message being delivered. The rub of the legs, either one leg, both legs, walking around your legs, in and out, in between your legs, it's all the same. It's a scent marking tactic and action as well as a greeting of hello. Your cat is showing affection, submission, and letting you know that you're someone they trust. All good things. And we mentioned purring just a bit earlier. We certainly can't talk about purring without mentioning the power of the meow. In the feline world, the meow, it wears many hats. Your cat, your little buddy there, likely has a meow for every season, for every occasion. And thankfully for us, cats have a meow of affection. A positive greeting, the quick meow, almost like a bird chirping. I like to refer to it as somewhat of the baseline meow. A meow that's only reserved for me, only reserved for you. The human touch style meow. Your cat can greet you with a chirp. They can also greet you with a more direct meow, especially if food and drink are being desired. If you've had your cat more than a week, you likely already know their own personal style, and as time goes on, it'll all become second nature to you. You'll be able to understand your cat's meows and tell the difference between a loving hello and a meow that is born from distress. Meowing, the feline calling card of communication, and one of the many ways that cats love to greet humans. Another sign of positive communication, and certainly a greeting of trust, is the exposed belly. If you are a new owner, this one can be rather easy to miss, and take it from me, Long ago, it wasn't really on my radar of things to look for either. However, that belly is a very sensitive area, and cats are always looking to protect it, quite obviously, especially from anyone and anything that is viewed as a threat. The very last thing a cat would want is to expose that belly in the wrong environment. This is why it's all the more important to recognize that the exposed midsection, that's a sign of trust. Your cat is letting that guard down and doing so just for you. This is a measure of supreme confidence in you. Your pet is content in the fact that they can expose their midsection without being fearful of something negative taking place. This is a vulnerable posture, and this form of communication, when the midsection is exposed, is your cat's way of letting you know that the environment that you have created is peaceful and a safe place. Some people, even some cat owners, they can go years without ever seeing a cat take on this posture. So if you see that exposed belly, you're doing something right and you've earned your pet's trust. And very similar to the exposed belly, cats that are trusting often give a slow blink to their owners, a sign of contentment and affection. If your cat is willing to blink in your presence, looking right at you, this is a big win. Although quite easy to overlook, sort of like that belly posture and belly exposure. If a cat doesn't feel safe, if the vibes in the environment are just not right, they won't have time to blink. Closing those eyes even for a moment could be a very bad move. Only cats that are comfortable in their living space will blink. So, if your cat's giving you that slow blink, this is not only an affectionate greeting, but in many ways the seal of approval. Your pet feels safe around you, and that's a big, big victory. Another greeting, especially if it takes place directly on your person, is kneading. A behavior that starts during the earliest days of life. Cats will knead their mothers in an effort to stimulate the flow of much-needed milk. The action is also a sign of affection and bonding. The habit itself, well, it often continues forever, and it acts as a bit of a self-soother and a sign of comfort. If your cat is using those front paws up and down to knead on your arms or thighs, wherever there's room for a good kneading, this is your cat's way of telling you that you are family, you are safe, and you're someone worthy of trust. If your cat is relaxed, happy to be around you, they'll return to those first few weeks of life, kneading on you just like they did on Mom so long ago. And moving right along, have you ever found that your cat is living in your shadow? If your pet can't seem to let you walk alone, you might have a bit of a bestie on your hands. When your cat wants to send a warm greeting of trust and affection, they'll follow you around. Certainly not all the time, but a lot of the time. What you're doing, it becomes just so important that your cat would rather walk with you than sit on the sofa alone and have you walk away. This clinging behavior, cute but clingy, is your cat's way of letting you know that you are important and that they feel safe, or the safest, around you. Sort of like a kid in a store holding hands with mom or dad, big brother holding the hand of little sister. It's a scene as old as time, really. Your cat following you around, it's not too much unlike a kid following his dad through the shopping mall. If your cat wants to be near you and walk in your shadow, or be your shadow, as annoying as it could be for you at times, you're likely doing something right. A whole lot of something's right. Your cat is greeting you by just being right there, taking every step with you. And before I close things out for this video, I briefly want to talk about the posture of your cat's tail. And I saved the best for last, and that involves those presents, those gifts. Sometimes a toy mouse, other times a real mouse. As for the tail, cats that are confident and content, that tail will be upright, proud, and ready for the world to see. If your cat's tail is tall, yet a bit relaxed at the top, maybe with a slight curl, then your cat is happy to see you and be in your company. At the least, this is a sign of friendship. At the most, especially when mixed with the other notables that I've mentioned here today, this tail posture could be a sign of affection and deep trust and loyalty. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for those gifts. If your cat roams your backyard on the regular, believe you me, it will happen. One day, your cat will just show up at your back door with something special. Oh yes, something very special. A mouse, a lizard, a snake, perhaps all three at the same time, who knows? It will happen, and if you're lucky, your cat will bring one straight into your home. Joking, of course. It's happened to me. It was Mice City. A few years ago, once a month, spend the rest of the night trying to catch this little thing while the cat responsible for the whole thing just stood there and laughed and laughed and laughed. At the root, all of this is a sign of affection, believe it or not. Look what I've done. Look what I've got. I got it just for you, and I want you to have it. So, if your cat brings back a creature from the wild and delivers it to your door on a silver platter, take action to remove it. But don't get mad at your pet. This is a sign of trust, way of giving you something in the same way that you cater to their needs on the daily. Think of it as sharing in your feline's very own precious and special way. And to the audience of Senior Cat Wellness, the adorable ways that cats greet humans. What are your thoughts? Does your cat check all of these boxes, the notables that I've mentioned here today? Or does your pet have some rather special and unique ways of showing you they care? Unique ways of telling you hello? Your thoughts and your personal stories of affection and trust in the comment section. As always, it's all yours. And if you enjoyed this content, please give the video a like and subscribe to the channel. I'd love to have you as a member of the Senior Cat Wellness family. And until next time, thank you so very much for watching, and I will talk to you later.